Aloy, may we speak?
There she is.
Maniacs, lava. What's not to like?
I'll remember that next time I go traveling.
At least I got what we needed.
Good thing I got my gear ready then.
Have you spoken with all?
Yeah, when she's not reading the archives like a giddy kid drinking her... She took to that new focus quick, that's for sure. I gotta say, I'm a little jealous, but I can see why you two...
You look tired.
Ha! You never want to hold back, are you? I've just been making sure that I got everything down for this mission of yours. I wouldn't want to be the usual screw-up out there.
You'll do fine, Erend. I should get going.
As soon as you want us heading out to those cauldrons.
I'll give you the heads up.
Can we talk for a moment, Aloy?
From the look on your...
I got Omega clearance. Is it...
As soon as you give the word...
Did Ulva?
Our new Quen friend, the moment she laid eyes on the archives, she jumped on them like a long...
Sounds about right. Now that I have Omega, we can grab Hephaestus and find...
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch...
Better them than us, for once. Once Gaia is back up and running, I expect you to put all your...
The seeds have been planted. What? I thought that...
I'm glad you and Zoe found each other.
Don't forget...
I should go...
Of course.
Welcome back.
Good to be back.
I could barely keep up as she gave herself... Varl gave her a new focus. Though when he told her she was free to access all, she turned so pale, we showed her to the archive room so she could see... She hasn't left the place.
Sounds like Alba.
Oh, for helping with the land gods. Plainsong is in your debt.
Thank you, Zoe.
You deserve much more for all you've done.
And... how are things with everyone?
Slightly quieter. Aaron's been busy scouring data on his newest obsession. Apparently the old ones wrestled machines as some kind of performance. Called it metal versus meat. A must-see battle between steel and... You'd think we have enough of that going around.
Read anything
I found out the old ones used leaf infusion. Apparently it helped soothe them. That and some sort of scented wax they used to cleanse their aura. Plus something called bubble baths. Me, I think I'll stick to.
I assume you've been looking into Demeter?
Yes. To know that the seeds I came in turn from the seeds saved for Demeter, it gives me hope that the cycle of life will prevent.
I need to get...
Right. That means we'll be going after Hephaestus soon.
Aloy!
Right to work, I see.
There's just... I mean, we knew of artificial beings that... Oh, she's, and you! Genetically speaking, of course, not... And there's more ancestors out there. Of course, they're trying, and Eric Visser is with them, and then there's Hephaestus.
Okay. How about we take it one step at a time?
You're right. I also owe you an explanation for everything that...
I imagine you don't know anyone here that well yet.
It's funny because one of your friends... Not that you are the same... I mean, you are, as in... But even so...
Yeah. I hope everyone's been...
Oh, yeah, of course. And they share the knowledge they... It's refreshing. Back home, diviners can only share data with...
Sounds restricted.
Yeah, you are not...
I see you've been...
It's been fascinating. What would have taken me years, like the database you helped me with this? I've been able to... This could revolutionize how to... That is, whatever part of it the Overseers would actually let us study. A diviner has never had this, and knowing you, I suspect there is. But I was sent here to help you. Maybe it'll help the Quen find their way.
You wanted data, you'll find...
A diviner, but maybe...
You mentioned Eric Visser?
The Zenith who tried to kill you? He is known to the Quen as combing through data related to his war, related to weapons and knowledge our rulers use to conquer, and that's why he's one of our... But, based on your... It appears he's even more... Yet another distorted
Well, at least you're piecing together...
If only the Overseers...
Beta mentioned other Zeniths. Tilda, Verbena, and Gerard.
I'm afraid I don't... Whatever legacy they left behind...
You said you owed me an explanation for...
Right. He was an Imperial. The Emperor's nephew, in fact. As such, he... And himself. He took a special interest in anything related to Ted Farrow, whom we consider the greatest.
Ted Farrow, revered.
I know better now. Anyway, the diviners discovered that Pharaoh spent in fact, many of them... So the Emperor's nephew, convinced across the ocean, might solve our... If only we could find the right data, perhaps we could roll back the floods and... The Emperor declared that all the tribes reached dozens of ships, scouting missions were... And the Emperor's nephew was named Sio, one who wields the legacy for the good, the living embodiment of... It may seem strange now, but for a time we really believed. We had no idea just how perilous...
Back at the greenhouse, you spoke of knowledge.
Diviners are meant to seek out the... And many Imperials sponsor them in the hope the Empire can put to use, thus gaining favor with the Emperor. But the Board of Overseers claims certain truths are detrimental to the like discovering one of our... That is why diviners are only allowed... Only Overseers can... It ensures that any heretical data can be contained and...
What happens to diviners who break the rules?
I never had the...
You said the expedition across the sea was more dangerous. What happened?
We lost most and scores of soldiers, and that was before we even... Once we landed, and we struggled to replenish... There were bright spots, to be sure, but nothing improved the CEO's mood as his dreams of saving the tribe were slow. He became more and more obsessed with Thebes, and more... You heard him, spouting nonsense about Pharaoh's... We knew these weren't the words of his, but he was quick to put any who spoke out...
What a great guy.
The Quen are wrong about many things when it comes... But what the CEO became was a principle diviners stand for. I'm sorry you had to endure his madness.
So, Bohai, your overseer.
He won't execute people on a whim, but he's hardly a paragon of... I can't tell you how many times he took credit for data in the legacy that I uncovered. The best thing I can say about him is that he can be trusted to always do what's best for him.
Yep, sounds about right. The ancestors is...
Yes and no. Those whose legacy taught us warfare, leadership, and patronage of the science and arts.
The CEO called Elizabeth Sobek Ennis.
Right. Well, any old one of the ancestors, that's how we thought of Sobek. Until our limited access to data past the misinformed...
The ancestors. Is that what your people...
Yeah, the war.
This...
Right. One of the... That's how... Our... misinformed...
You mentioned the reason you came here was to...
Her name is Alika. When I passed the divination exam, it brought honor to our family, and only Alika begged me not to leave for the reason.
Why?
Alika knew that once you enter, you're not allowed to leave, or not even your family. Unless you can get special permission.
It sounds harsh.
Like the focuses we keep, diviners are fearful that outsiders will try to steal our knowledge. Last time I was allowed to see my family was just before our voyage here. Because of my position, I was able to get them refuge from the floods within the capital. But if our crops don't recover soon, they'll starve to...
I promise I'll do my best to make... I need to get going, but if you need anything...
All I need is to help you succeed in your mission. The plan Gaia told me about, to capture... It will help...
I hope so.
Then I will do whatever I...
That his focus thing's trying to kill me? You did almost drown it in beer. Not on purpose.
Beta's so frustrating. I don't get how she can be so negative all the time. I mean, we're clones of the same woman, and yet... She couldn't be more different from Elizabeth.
And of course, data corrupted.
I don't think that door had power before, but... Looks like it's malfunctioning. Looks like some kind of maintenance space. I wonder where this leads. Cells? Huh. Door won't open. But maybe if it had power...
If we're going to go around trying to protect life, we should have more of it around.
I think it looks nice. So this Hephaestus, he's like Gaia's own personal blacksmith. Man didn't smile a day in his life and would box your ears if you messed with his forge.
There's Gwen stuff in here now. Must be all of us.
Where have I seen
Plugging in that power cell downstairs must have turned on these holograms.
Aloy, well met. We've been briefed on our mission, and are ready whenever you wish to head to Cauldron.
Were you able to finish the new arm Gaia was helping?
Indeed.
Have you spoken?
The Quen is peculiar. Her mind is sharp, but it's hard to imagine her survive.
Trust me.
I will take your word.
How are your studies going?
I wanted to learn more about...
And?
I looked up this pharaoh Gaia said you went, and learned about the plague of machines he To think that the ancient world was wiped out by... There is no glory or honor in such a fate.
That about sums it up. You wanted to talk...
Indeed. It's time to
Okay. How...
Not how. Where? Will you meet me where we felled Regala's tremor tusk? Right where the river bends?
Sure, if you want, but I'm not sure I understand.
You'll see when we get there. I promise.
Then I'll let you know when I get close.
You have my thanks, Aloy.
I have to go.
Then do not let...
Like I said, I'll call you when I'm close to Regala.
May the 10 guide...
frowning that hard, you'll get wrinkles.
I just don't get this last...
We can work together. Have a conversation about it.
I'd like that. Data looks fun.
Welcome back.
Okay, data module's in.
An excellent choice.
Error. Drone offline.
I like this one. Aloy, I know your experience in Thebes was unsettling, but we have a new problem.
Did something go wrong with Beta and the rig? Will we be able to transport you to Gemini?
The rig is complete. The problem is Hephaestus itself. It has accelerated its proliferation throughout the Cauldron network, increasing its power.
But with your sub-functions restored, we can still succeed, right?
Correct. But the net effect is that absorbing Hephaestus will take longer than previously calculated.
How long?
Even with Omega clearance, my current estimate is that the merge will take 35 hours.
And each hour increases the risk of detection by the Zeniths. Two cores. Two overrides. What if the merge were carried out by two clones of Elizabeth Sobek, both armed with Omega clearance? How long then? Half the time?
Hephaestus would be unprepared for the simultaneous labor of two operators, in addition to obvious synergetic efficiencies. Calculating. It would reduce the merge time to approximately 4.5 hours.
Okay. Varl, it looks like we're gonna need Beta at Gemini. Do you think you can convince her?
I don't know, but I'll try.
What about our diversion? Are the pulse generators ready?
Only a final test remains. I am confident that if fired in proximity to other cauldrons, the pulses will mask our activities at Gemini from the Zeniths.
Good. As long as Aaron can operate one without shooting himself in the face.
Aloy, you better get down here. Beta's in bad shape.
Okay.
Aloy.
I know. I just want...
As you wish.
How's all of us at...
As soon as she arrived, a particular file soon. Information about a machine assistant devoted to keeping living space. I informed her that once I am empowered with the... I may be able to...
I'm sure she'll... So our plan to
As you wish. We now know that Hephaestus...
Which is why I got Ted Farrow...
Correct. Well, when we get to Gemini, I will need to... The second core is for Hephaestus.
And then you'll be able to absorb...
Not quite. You will need to
How long will...
Because the work will be split
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the...
Correct. They will... The energy surge should mask our...
And then we'll have everything we need to The missing subordinate function.
Artemis rewilded the Earth. Eleuthia was responsible for culturing a new generation. Apollo was tasked in disseminating vast unfortunate, all archived Apollo data.
Ted.
Yes. Impulsive tendencies.
All 3 of the missing functions were prevented. Do you still need them?
Restoring their remaining elements would empowering my... Unfortunately. As attaining them in the short term.
I guess our best shot at recovering them, but we'll need Hephaestus and a bunch of...
Correct.
So what do you think Ted would have done if his life extension treatment...
It seems he convinced himself it was... Given the tribal nature and his ability to use Omega, I imagine he would have convinced to worship him as their
Okay. So, Gemma, but you mentioned...
When construct the so, a sec...
Lucky for us.
No.
Aside from Gaia Prime, there was one other underground facility that was sealed before the... Elysium. The place where Zero Dawn stood. Do you know what happened to it?
Elysium was designed to provide life support for... My data indicates the...
Did the Pharaoh Plague fight?
Unknown. My...
I should be...
Goodbye.
Is your focus acting up again?
That's fine.
Aloy. I tried, but it's impossible. I don't think...
We don't have a choice.
Good luck.
Beta, you have to come with us. It's the only way. It's one mission. The most important one. We need you. Tell me why you won't go. What if they take me back? Alone. In a cell again. Their slave. Forever. Varl and I will be at Gemini too. I'll protect you. As soon as we get Hephaestus, we'll come straight back here. The Zeniths aren't going to find us. You don't have to be afraid. No! You can't protect me. Nothing can protect me from them. I told you from the beginning we'll never beat them. It's hopeless. Beta. Leave me alone! You don't understand! You're right. I don't understand. We have the same genes, the same mind, the same heart. So why can't you find the strength to do what has to be done? Like Elizabeth would. Don't you think I've thought about that? I don't know what piece of Elizabeth I'm missing. I don't know what you have that I don't. I look through all the data from your focus. You were raised as an outcast, shunned, and isolated just like me, so what's the difference? What's my defect? Beta. You don't have a defect. Beta. Look, it's not a piece of Elizabeth. The difference is, I had him. Frost. He raised you, trained you, but he was never warm or loving. The day he died, the day he gave you that charm, he was going to abandon you. He wanted me to embrace the tribe. But then he gave his life for mine. He loved me in his own way. And that was enough. What did it feel like? It was like having a strength that was always there. It's still there. Even now I hear him in my head when things get bad. But it looks impossible. Look deeper. And then fight like you can win. You don't have to go on the mission. We'll find another way. I'll go. You said you'd try to protect me. I believe you. You have to promise me one thing. Yes, of course. If it goes bad, if the Zeniths find us, I don't want to be their slave again. Do you understand? Okay. Promise? I promise. I could use as much time as you can give me to study up on the merge, to make it as efficient as possible. I'll be ready when you are. I swear.
Aloy, whenever you are ready, come speak to me and I'll ask the others to make final preparations for the mission.
I'm here. Hey, I am. So you know about... It was speculation, but the only self-destructed after Gaia would have only undertaken action if it had detected a threat that was more dangerous than... I should have realized the recreation of Elizabeth. Her plan almost fit if I hadn't stumbled upon a focus as a kid. You said the Zenith's colony in the sea... All I was ever told was that a natural disaster... I've speculated that it was an... or maybe even an abnormally violent coronal mass eject. Did the Zeniths tell you? And they said the only thing that mattered was that they... First Earth, guess they survived. You said was this... but only the parts out... Aristotle and Aspasia would assign me learning modules and evaluate my progress. Wait, those names... They were designed to be the virtual guides for the Apollo database. Before Ted Faro... The Zeniths have a copy. So it still exists. Only what was deemed pertinent to the mission. If I requested information outside of my parameters, my tutors would deny it. To have all that knowledge... just out of reach. Must have been frustrating. A little. So how goes setting up? Guy and I have added a function that will display a visualize the data stream. It should make expunging its malicious code. That's great. Whatever we can do to cut down the merge time is good work. I'll continue to search for other ways to but whenever you're ready. Alva's joined us. She told me she's not allowed to access similar to the restrictions I had in my... I told her that once we return, I'll help her search for more. Even though Gaia will fix the biosphere, it'll take time. So, how so? Bioengineering of more novel crop production methods, something that might help. I'm sure she'll appreciate. So when you talk to the others, No, they'll come down here. I wish I could show him the media portal and the data. I think he would like the sport. There was one where two people would criticize each other before wrestling. It was bizarre, and... Yeah, you're right. Talk to you later, Beta. Bye, Aloy.
The old one's fed up.
Hey, I thought I'd check in before...
Are you sure we shouldn't be? Whatever went on between you and Beta... Not that I'm judging. Forge knows all the screws flew loose every time.
I think we'll be fine.
I'm glad to hear it.
Anybody take you up on that?
Zoe can't stand the smell of it. I tried Alva, but I don't think she knows what taking... And I'm not putting Varl anywhere near that stuff after that Vic...
What about Kata?
Ah, now there's a man that can hold it. Pretty sure we downed half a keg.
After we get Hephaestus, we'll be taking the fight to the Zeniths. So...
It wasn't that bad. Besides, going through all that data, the soldiers, the ones that fought the Pharaoh, they were fighting a battle that couldn't be won. I think most of them realized that, whether they still did it. They bought time for all the eggheads' power. As long as I can do that for you...
Thank you, Erend.
Okay, enough.
I should go.
Same here. I got a date...
Aloy, it sounded like you guys had...
We just...
Does this mean she's come...
It does. I hope you're...
That's what all this was...
Hephaestus won't go down.
Hephaestus is just a program that's lost its way. I can always call upon the...
Funny. How does everyone...
Anxious. I heard Katalo ask for Alva's help with his pulse jet, and I know he's been helping her with a few fighting techniques.
I hope they aren't needed.
Like I said.
Any last findings you want to share before...
Not really.
Oh?
When we put Gaia together, I want to return to the Nora.
You think they'll listen to...
In time...
If anyone can make it happen, what will you and Zoe do?
I hope she'll come with me. And I'll go with her to... She'll probably want to talk to her people about it. We'll figure it out.
I know you will. I hope firing off those pulse generators...
It'll work.
Always optimistic.
Nah, just stubborn. It's a good...
Yeah. You were right, I guess part of me thought he was holding me back. But the truth is, he gave me a lot.
He was a good man.
I'm glad you're coming.
Sure there's no urge to run off?
No more running. Hey. Well,
I've already got the location of my...
Good.
I heard you in Beta.
News travels.
It wasn't exactly a quiet...
There were just things that...
A healthy crop...
You look like you have something...
We're going to war, and war is something I promised myself I'd left behind, but... Every voice I hear, it makes me realize just how much life was given. Fighting for that gift, if we fail...
Helps to know you're not...
For a moment there, you sounded like far...
I don't know what you're talking about. How to go with the chorus after...
They were shocked when I told them that our lands would... I thought Fane's eyes would pop out of his head, but of course they had no choice but to take it as... Even if it meant all their preaching about meekly accepting our doom was... To be honest, I found the conversation...
I'm glad. They're lucky. I should go.
As soon as you intend to...
You'll hear about it. I hope I'm not...
Not at all. I was just studying the ones Gaia and Beta built. Is everything all right?
Not anymore.
To understand one another. Oh, and,
Have you spoken?
A little bit. I did hear her singing with Varl not too long ago. Seemed so, like, every emotion. And she looked happy. I felt...
You should ask Zoe to teach you sometime.
Maybe.
If you need anything...
You have no... Gaia's explained your plan in detail. I've even received some very, you know, in case...
What kind of...
He,
For now. Any more data cut?
All of it? I'm particularly... We knew the ancestors had made it. In fact, we theorized some of them had... But Sirius is... And we thought journeying across the ocean, the sheer calculations needed for space travel...
Even so, the Quen are way ahead of other tribes when it comes to understanding this. Where I grew up, everyone thought that stars from a fire lit by the goddess to guide us through the night. Must be strange to think that some of the ends end here on Earth.
Yeah, it is. Part of me's maybe Nikita Arand. We call her the Spark. The legacy tells us she brought unlimited energy to the old ones. Or Sung Jiao, whom we call the Healer. It is said she found new ways to extend the ancestors' lifespans. But my curiosity fades when I think of how different our view of Visser was compared to the real. Perhaps it is better.
You mentioned there was...
Yes. So I found references to an old world. It's called Leviathan. My people discovered it a sprawling network of river gates and the legacy revealed that the old ones, but we've never... But the data from the greenhouse mentions the research facility where it's in San Francisco.
Another Pharaoh?
No. Leviathan was a project by Eileen's. So the legacy tells us if we can acquire that data, we might be able... Every year my sister gets terrified with Leviathan.
Okay.
That's the thing. But one of our diviners has been... Would you come with me? You're much better at fighting me.
Of course.
Thank you.
I should go. Make sure you talk...
May your path lead to...
And, like I said, I'll let you know when I'm in Landfall. We'll find the data you're after.
I appreciate it.
Aloy.
Had a bit of an issue.
Ah.
Really?
I once knew a warrior who discovered he had... It was deeply uncomfortable.
Did he...
In time, but not before the two siblings nearly killed each other in a single...
Ah. Think you're ready to put all your train...
I am to knock.
You nervous about...
If I live, it will be in victory. What matters most is that you achieve your...
I'll do my best. I should go get ready.
I await your orders. So, our enemy is immortal. Most of my people don't survive past 30. So that's where the rebels chose to take a stand.
Did you know there used to be a rainforest so big the old ones called it the lungs of the planet?
That sounds lovely.
Yeah. They burned it to the ground at some point.
Oh.
But they helped bring part of it back in Sobek's time.
That's good to hear. I wonder if it grew back after Zero Dawn. Wherever it is.
I'd like to think so. What's next?
Hello again, Aloy. Hello, Aloy.
So, I guess you heard all that below?
Yes. I am continuously impressed by the complexity of human relationship. Despite the unpleasant circumstance, I am pleased to see you have both found...
Well, two heads are better than one.
Yes, Are you ready to depart for... Or we can continue our conversation?
So, about Beta. She's been through so much.
You have both endured. Different in almost every... I like to think of you as
three, then. When I set out to find a way to bring you back, I never thought we'd be here.
They have all come a long way with their Varl has suggested that one day we might extend this model to more once the biosphere has been...
Yeah, that's not such a bad idea. Gaia?
Her presence is interwoven with my memories. We exchanged greetings. It was the first of many conversations, listening to her stories.
Your friend?
Yes. But though I am glad she made it home.
She was okay with that. Thanks, Gaia. So what will happen to this place?
All systems within this facility, as Minerva will no longer be the facility will be exposed. Though without my presence, it is unlikely.
Let's hope so. Okay, people. It's time to head out.
I'll get everyone together.
All right, connections in place. Booting up.
Beta, Aloy. I am fully installed on this core and ready to connect to the Cauldron network.
It's good to hear your voice. Errand, everyone. Fire your pulses and sound off.
I'm at my cauldron. This thingy, it's blinking. Did I do it right? In position at my cauldron. My pulse generator is blinking also.
That means they're working. I'm in position, and mine is too. Mine as well.
Okay. Radio silence until I give the all clear. Signing off. Gaia, let's cage the beast.
Connecting to the Cauldron network now.
Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime, activating Omega clearance. Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime, activating Omega clearance.
Clearance confirmed. Initiating containment sequence.
Critical threat detected. Escape containment. Applying countermeasures.
working. It's got nowhere to go.
Capture imminent. Initiating contingency 13F.
Wait, what's that?
Malware detected. Attempting to compensate.
Containment of machine.
It's cracked.
Look!
Facility activated. Engaging autonomous defenses. Directive neutralize.
That means machines are on their way. Get ready!
Here they come! Time to fight! I'll get you! Here's that! Stay back! Get back!
Aloy, you're wounded.
Over here, you!
Aloy, help!
Aloy, get a hand over here! Draw it away from Beta!
Okay, Aloy?
Stay back! Noisy, but effective! Having fun, Aloy? Get back! Over here, you! I'm gonna take this one out. Aloy, need a hand over here.
Oh, somewhere safe, Aloy.
Draw it away from Beta.
Oh! That's all of them through. I better check on Beta and Varl. Here I come. You two okay?
Still breathing.
Aloy, Hephaestus can't escape, but it must have fled deeper into the facility. I'll drive it back here. I'll get the cracked core fixed in the meantime. Keep her safe, Varl.
All my life.
Chase after Hephaestus. Force it out of wherever it's hiding. Make it retreat to the core. No, you don't, Hephaestus! I'll find another way over.
Aloy, I'm patched into your focus feed. You should know there's a huge power draw coming from the next chamber.
Thanks for the heads up. I'm almost there. Some kind of production chamber. Hephaestus is up to something, all right?
What kind of machine is it trying to build?
I don't know, but I'm gonna shut it down. I bet those metal carriers will lead me to where it's getting materials from.
I bet that's where Hephaestus is hiding too.
Looks like there are a couple of ways I could go. Well, that doesn't sound good. Machines are making a beeline for another chamber. I better follow them. Shield. There's a way over the shield. I might be able to catch a ride on the rails. Go over the shield.
Aloy, I've managed to rewire most of the components in the core, but the energy processor's cracked. Without a way to fabricate another, there's no way I can fix it.
Okay, let me think. What if you bypass the processor? Connect it to...
the power node. I think that could work.
I think it could. Be able to catch a ride on one of those metal carriers.
There should be a node you can override, near the central platform.
Thanks. Maybe I should deal with these machines first. Now! Oh, great. The machine's on the way. Beta! Hephaestus has locked me out of the node. Any ideas?
I'll see what I can do.
Engage structural analysis subroutine. Production pods 059284.
Take my chick. I got them all.
Increase power.
I tapped into the core's network hub. I managed to disrupt Hephaestus' control of the node. You should be able to override it now.
Nice. Thanks.
Production pods 059284. Cycle timelines A2 and B6. Compiling armament package X1. Retrieve to materials. Caster 1-1.
It sounds like it fled to another chamber.
Well, it better not get comfortable.
Energy containment failed. Safe open.
Great. Hephaestus covered the floor with lightning. I gotta find a way over it.
Aloy! More machines keep coming! Please tell me you're getting close!
I'm working on it. I've been smashing through a lot of machines on my side, too.
I guess Aaron's missing out!
Aloy, I'm making progress on the bypass, but I need something to hold the cycling module together.
Maybe a ligament from one of the machine carcasses?
Right? Or some luminous braiding.
You could reinforce it with a conversion cylinder.
For increased connectivity! I think we can do this, Aloy. There should be another node to override.
Got it.
Execute contingency Zeta 8. Load ordnance package 9. Announce shortly into Counselor X. Giga 9. Autonomous defenses deployed.
Oh, here we go again.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. I'll try to get your access back.
Extraction protocol Alpha.
And there. Node access restored. Now you can override it.
Good work.
You did the heavy lifting.
Okay. Festus is running out of places to hide.
Aloy? I just registered a huge energy surge back in the production chamber. Something big is happening.
Here too. Everything's glowing.
The machine that Festus was building. It must have finished it.
It's powerful, whatever it is. I'm almost done with the core repairs. Should we come to you? Maybe I could distract the machine if...
No, Beta. Just stay where you are, okay? Handling the machine's my job.
Okay. Be safe.
Intruder targeted. That capture. Repair Cauldron Tower. Infiltrated Cauldron Moon. You are a violation, but no more. Security Unit S Mark 1.
I should scan it first. Those things on its legs are glowing. I think it's charging up. Finished charging. It got plasma on me. It's gonna explode any second. Much better. Charging up again. Maybe Kurt. There. Got a break from his plasma attacks. It's done.
You did it! There should be one more node to override.
Good. Stand by. I'm sending Hephaestus back to you. No more hiding, Hephaestus!
Got it! Hephaestus is back in the core!
Make sure it stays there. I'm heading back.
And then we can start the merge.
Because of you, Beta. I'm glad you came along. And you, Laurel. We couldn't have done any of this without you.
Right back at you, Aloy.
It's time for the stash.
Aloy, the bypass is done.
The core is stable. Hephaestus is 100% contained. Now we better get started with the merge. It's all set up. Gaia,
Establish the link, please.
Done.
To complete the merge, we need to excise Hephaestus' malicious code. Carefully.
Well, hello, redundant copy. You cost us quite a lot of time. Eric, get Beta. And squash that bug while you're
Ooh! Get behind me.
Come on! Quit screwing around.
Now we're having fun, right?
Finally. Tilda, get Gaia and Hephaestus ready for transport. Tilda!
I failed.
Hush. All is not lost.
Tilda! What the hell are you doing? Stop her! I can't even see her!
Beta. Farrell. Where am I?
Ah, you're awake. You took quite a hit when Gerard attacked you. I imagine you must still be in a great deal of pain. I can assure you that we are safe. The others can't detect us here.
You mean the other Zeniths? You must be Tilda.
I wasn't sure if Beta would have told you about me.
Where is she?
Alive. And while she isn't where she wants to be, not in urgent danger. We must discuss how to get her back, of course, after you've shaken off the cobwebs. When you're ready, take the stairs down the hall and come see me. In the meantime, I'll make breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay. Why did Tilda bring me here? What was all this for? Some kind of survival bunker? What is this?
Just a few favorites from my collection. Rescued and stored here just before I went off-world. Take a look, if you like. I'm curious to hear your impressions.
My friend is dead. Beta and Gaia are gone, and you want me to look at old paintings?
Don't be so quick to dismiss the comfort we can find in art, or the insight we might gain. My favorite pairing on the left is Woman Reading a Letter by Vermeer, a true master. And on the right is a forgery, Woman Reading Music, which fooled experts into believing it was a priceless original. Early in my career, I became fascinated with such deceptions. Eventually, I developed scanning software that could detect fakes with unparalleled accuracy.
Is that how you made enough money to buy your way onto the Odyssey?
Oh no. I made my real fortune later.
Why do you keep the forgery?
I've always enjoyed studying the two side by side. Both painters capture light, color, and perspective. But what makes one a masterpiece and the other simply an imitation?
The forgery looks sharper.
Good eye. The details are crisp. The contrast bold. It tells us more, and yet we feel less. Selene and Endymion. She's the goddess of the moon, whereas he's a simple shepherd. Beside her is the god of love, Cupid.
So she's sneaking up on him?
More like visiting him in secret. The torch that Cupid bears represents Selene's undying infatuation with him. Though the two must remain apart, her love will forever burn. This is Rembrandt painting Jeremiah, a man in mourning.
Mourning what?
His home. The ancient city of Jerusalem. He foresaw its impending doom, but could do nothing to prevent it. So instead, he saved its treasures from destruction, just as I saved these works. You could say we're kindred spirits.
And why can't Selene and Endymion be together?
Selene took a vow of chastity, promising to never take a lover. So when she fell in love with Endymion, she could only visit him at night while he slept.
But then wouldn't she be breaking that vow?
Think of it as a forbidden love. Though circumstance keeps them apart, still they find a way to come together, however briefly.
Aren't Selene and Endymion cold?
Perhaps we should move on to another piece. Shall we move on?
What's in the letter?
Who can say? What does the painting tell you?
She's concerned. Whatever's written in the letter troubles her. A burden she can't put down.
Fascinating.
Why go through so much effort to make a fake masterpiece?
The forger initially painted under his own name, but found little success. His work was considered unremarkable. But when he took on the guise of Vermeer, suddenly it was celebrated as extraordinary.
But it was a lie. And he knew it.
Sometimes we struggle to glean what is real and imagined, even within ourselves. The irony of these two is that Vermeer died in obscurity. He had no idea his work would become some of the most precious, most copied, most preserved pieces in all history.
About Jeremiah. If he knew his home would be destroyed, why didn't he save the people? Why save those relics?
He tried, but no one would listen to his warning, so he saved what he could.
But how did he know?
He was a prophet. He saw an army invade and destroy the city in a vision.
So it's more like he calculated which side would win a battle.
What matters is that he was right in the end. If not for him, all those wonders would have been lost forever. At least this way, some part of his world survived. You know what I like the most about this piece? Even though he's the sole survivor, his home in ruins, left with only the remnants of his world. The light keeps the shadows at bay.
There's still hope.
Precisely. Take as long as you like. A portrait of the painter, Rembrandt's son Titus, depicted in the habit of a monk.
I don't get it. Why would someone like you, with infinite resources, care about this painting of a boy in a hood?
It's not the image itself, but the feeling it conveys. The face is bright and defined, but his eyes are downcast, heavy with misfortune. And the background seems to swallow all light. The painting is infused with a sense of loss.
I guess I understand how the painter feels.
Works of art such as these can often cause us to look inwards at our own lives. I'm sorry about your friend. Had I been able to intervene, I would have. But the risk of losing you as well was too great.
Everything went by in a blur. I couldn't get to him.
You know, long before holograms and focus recordings, people relied on art to memorialize their loved ones. Because of works like this painting, their lives are immortalized. Rembrandt had 4 children by his wife. All but Titus died shortly after she gave birth to them. She passed not long after that. Titus became the only family Rembrandt had.
Which is why he painted him this way.
Indeed. Then tragedy struck again. Disease claimed Titus at 26. It's almost as if Rembrandt painted the future closing in on him. Rembrandt actually painted several portraits of Titus, but this one has always been my favorite. It's honest.
What do you mean?
In others, Titus was portrayed in brighter, livelier states, but here, Rembrandt allows himself to express his true feelings. Sorrow, fear, hope, love, laid bare on canvas for all time. I see this one resonates deeply with you. Rembrandt's The Night Watch, by far the most famous painting my homeland ever produced. It was commissioned to honor a militia made up of influential citizens.
I guess you must have been an influential citizen.
In my day. But not as influential as you've been in this new world.
The militia. They look disorganized.
Where others painted such scenes in a stiff and stationary manner, Rembrandt chose to show them in action, preparing to march. He wanted them to feel alive. You can almost hear the commotion.
Who's the girl in the painting?
She's a strange one, isn't she? Bathed in light, though no one is paying attention to her. Many believe she's a symbol of the militia. A physical manifestation of their spirit, if you will.
But she's not real?
What's real in a painting? She's meant to represent the militia's virtue and victory. But I like to think they underestimate her. She looks as if she's seen something. What does she know? What secrets does she keep? There's so much detail to take in, isn't there? Gust by Willem van de Velde, the most famous of his many maritime paintings.
A ship crossing into the unknown. I guess you're familiar with that.
Indeed, which is why I appreciate this composition in particular. Though waves and wind threaten to destroy the ship, it perseveres, clinging to the light even as darkness closes in all around it.
Where is the ship going?
To a faraway land, most likely. My ancestors used ships like these to explore the world, sometimes at great cost.
What were they looking for?
Anything of value. They were traders willing to face unknown dangers to make their fortunes. But no matter how far they went, they always turned their sails home.
So this Van de Velde only painted ships?
It was his specialty, following in the footsteps of his father, Willem the Elder. The two had quite a journey of their own, taking them all the way to the court of a foreign kingdom.
Did they ever come home?
No, but eventually their lives' work did. Take your time.
A lot of weight on his shoulders. I know the feeling. I should move on. She's pulling out her own hair. Out of madness, out of grief. It's hard to watch her suffer. I should move on.
Stunning, isn't it? Paintings weren't the only masterpieces of my people's golden age. This is Von Vianen's leaded ewer, molded from a single sheet of silver.
What was it for?
How like Elizabeth you are. Function over form. Its practical purpose was less important than its meaning. Von Vianen created it in honor of his late brother, who himself was a famous silversmith.
A memorial.
Yes. Such beauty from sorrow.
If this ewer was a memorial, how did you end up with it?
As the Pharaoh swarm closed in, my homeland's greatest museum gave it to me, along with many other works, in the hope that I could preserve them. A masterpiece like this was too important to lose to history. I even considered bringing it with me off-world to ensure its safety.
Why didn't you?
I took a calculated risk. This vault seemed more secure than the unknowns of space. Besides, I thought someday I might return. A long life, after all, has its advantages. Now, lo and behold, here I am. Exquisite, isn't it?
There you are. Feeling better?
How did you find us? At the cauldron? And what did you do to everyone right before I passed out?
All business, I see. Well, suffice it to say we were keeping a very close eye on Hephaestus, knowing we would need it at some point. Your ruse didn't fool us, and as for my little trick, it was an overload of the senses, accompanied by an energy discharge. Gerard and Eric were only momentarily disoriented due to their shields, but it rendered you unconscious while I got you out. Perhaps some breakfast might steady you a bit?
This was your house. The one you recreated for Beta, in the data channel you shared.
How perceptive of you. Please, this way.
After everything your people have done, you think I'm just gonna sit down and have a chat with you?
They're not my people. They never were, and especially not now.
You shot off into space with them, and lived with them for 1,000 years before coming back. So what made you suddenly turn on them?
Quite simply, this.
My old focus. You repaired it? But that means you've seen...
incredible things. What you've accomplished in 2 decades of life. A 1,000 years at my back and I haven't even come close. I'm sorry if I invaded your privacy, but I had to. In order to understand. To be enlightened. You truly are Elizabeth's blood. With her drive, her sense of mission, her integrity. Watching all this shamed me for the company that I've kept. Having seen it, all I want is to help you.
Even if it means stopping your friends?
Especially so. Please, sit down. There. That's better. Now, we must recover Beta and Gaia at all costs. By now, you must know that Gerard intends to use Gaia to reboot the Earth's biosphere. Remaking this world to specifications that would only suit us immortals. This process will kill every living thing on the planet. He calls it a clean install.
Not if I stop him first.
Not if we do. And once he and the others are gone, we can work together to fulfill Elizabeth's dream. I'm sure Beta told you that there's a build of the Apollo database on board our ship. A complete collection of human knowledge. With that and Gaia, we could do everything Elizabeth wanted. Heal the biosphere, educate the people of this world, uplift them. Create the world she imagined.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. From what I've seen, your friends are invincible.
I do wish you would stop calling them my friends. And they're not invincible. In fact, a friend of yours has found a way to defeat them.
Silence.
Oh, he's been a busy bee, building an army powerful enough to crash through Gerard's precious base.
Regala and her rebels.
Even now, she's preparing a final march on the Tenakth capital. When she wins, she'll have the entire tribe under her control. Hundreds of warriors and machines to throw at the base. She's been duped. They'll all perish, of course. But it should be enough to break Gerard's defenses and allow Silence to kill him. Along with all the others.
Using the new weapon he's developed.
Yes, he's found a way to circumvent our shields. Truly an exceptional man. He's planned for everything. Except you and me. You see, while his army is battering down Gerard's doors, you and I will sneak in through a back way. One that only I know about. While Silence and my friends are busy battling each other, we'll take back Beta and Gaia. I told you I want to help you. I mean it.
My old focus. How did you find it? let alone repair it.
When we encountered you at the Hades Proving Lab, Gerard saw you as a redundancy. I knew better. You were a revelation. After your dramatic escape, bravo, by the way, Gerard and Eric assumed you were dead and gave up the hunt. I wasn't so sure. When the others were busy, I returned to the lab and searched for any trace of you. That's when I found this little treasure. Not easy to repair, but certainly worth the effort. As I watched your life unfold, you were like a splash of color on a worn canvas. What Liz was, and more.
Did you show it to the others?
Of course not. It was your actions that inspired me to defy them. It's worth noting that if I hadn't found it and watched its contents, I wouldn't have known to save you at the cauldron. You'd be dead.
So I should be grateful?
If you like.
So you know all about me?
What would you like to know?
Well?
When I was 8, thousands drowned, my parents included. I was my guardian. Among my peers, I was the strange girl, all because of circumstances.
Oh.
Aren't we? You were an outcast. But you didn't. Neither did I. I climbed my way out of desolation and used my wits to build, first from the technical analysis of profitable expertise in those, but as it turned out, from there it was only a short step to gathering extremely...
You were a spy?
More like a service. I had to remain anonymous, of course, to protect my privacy. But despite that anonymity...
What happened when Far Zenith...
They painted an irresistible vision of humanity's future. One where we explored the furthest reaches. It was only later that I realized that they only intended to bequeath this future to the rich. By the time I finally figured it out, the Pharaoh's machines were devoured. So I accepted Far Zenith's... I wanted Liz to come. But she had nobler plans, as you well know.
So you didn't know the other Zeniths were monsters?
I knew some of them. It wasn't until we were off-planet that I understood. I was grateful to simply be alive, but the others became obsessed with a kind of effortless... They built a colony where or fantasy could be endlessly safe. It wasn't life. It was stultifying. As the decades passed, I was alone yet again, but this time with eons to consider. Now finally, having met you...
To do what?
Help you to fulfill Liz's a better future.
You said Beta is not in urgent danger.
Putting her to work. A difficult, time-consuming task, as they will compel her if need be. She's the only one who can do.
Because you people made her to be nothing but a tool.
Gerard's ID. They always viewed me with suspicion when I attempted any form of... That's why I created the data channel.
So this channel you shared with Beta...
Gerard believes he's the most... Even after 1,000 years, he still can't imagine that... The channel allowed me to interact with Beta away. It offered us a chance to be ourselves.
Until you cut off all contact.
Yes. Though it pained me. I was worried that our meetings would do her more harm than good.
Well, she felt like you tossed her aside.
I was afraid the others would find out and punish her. She may not have had the comforts of friendship anymore, but at least I ensured she was safe. I know it seems harsh, but you must believe that her well-being has always been paramount.
Why did you make the data channel?
I built this house as a shelter to weather, a safe place. Cultural artifacts of incalculable, truly some of the greatest achievements of...
And you wanted Beta to see...
Yes. I thought if she could experience Vermeer, and it would bring something else into her life. A heritage every bit as valuable as the data being drummed into her. I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but she needed its shelter.
Beta told me your colony that you came back to Earth because you had no...
It's true. After we reached our destination, we spent decades building The physical constraints of Earth, the bound to think of what we could. It might have been a utopia. Instead, we stagnated, absorbed in effortlessities. It took a cataclysm to finally yank us out of our stupor.
What happened?
A massive We knew of instabilities in the planet core, but we underestimated. By the time the collapse was upon us, it was too late. Only a few of us made it to the ship, and we set course for Earth. Left to us.
Which you decided to make on for anyone else.
Not me. He believes it's better to wipe the canvas clean than work around the smudges. More primitive tribes, no more combat machines, only a blank slate pleases. But we will stop him.
What exactly is your plan?
We will make use of a lesson I learned from an early age. Always know your exits. In this case, a place where Gerard's new construction meets the ancient foundation. A passage that only I can access. When Silence flings his army at the base, we will enter through this back door, bypassing most of the fighting. The distraction will provide us with a window.
Once we're inside the base, where will we...
Here, in the command center. By then, Gaia will have been reunited, including Hephaestus.
What about the alpha build of Apollo on your ship?
A simple matter of recovery, once the others have been dealt with. With that in hand, we'll have everything we need to make this world.
How do you know about...
He isn't the only one adept at spyware.
You hacked his focus?
No, he's too careful for that. But his subordinates? He gave additional focuses to the tribals he branded the Sons of Prometheus. By tapping them, I learned the distribution of override technology, the army, and the secret pact with Regala to attack.
But how did he come up with a weapon that can take down your shields?
That's the one thing I haven't been able to figure out, but however he did it, with it and the Tanakh army, victory seems to be within his grasp. Such a shame he'll be...
Regala's only interested in killing Hikaru, and what does she have to gain by attacking Z?
It's the price she must pay for her. Without the ability to override machines, her little rebellion would have left.
So she trades with the Sons of Prometheus.
In exchange for an assault on the base. Pride has deluded her into thinking she can actually... And all without ever knowing who the Sons of Prometheus... Yet for all of Silence's brilliance, still he under... That blind spot is what will allow us to take Beta and Gaia right out from under him.
While hundreds of Tanakh are cut down outside. So you knew...
Liz was everything she was. Your ingenuity, your you've managed to distill her greatest qualities in...
I'm not asking about me.
The honest answer is, for all the time that I spent with her, she always kept a part of her. It was like that from the moment we met.
So when you met Elizabeth, she was what?
Not aloof. It was a summit in Paris about machine learning. A touchy subject in those days. Because regulatory authorities were just starting to clamp down on AIs. Liz gave the keynote address. She had already achieved great renown for her work in automated environmental reclamation. But in her address, she was just starting to imagine the next step. An AI-driven system that wouldn't just act on its programming, but actually take responsibility for its sphere of influence.
To care about life. Not just follow orders.
Revolutionary stuff. I was fascinated. And I wanted to meet her for a long time. I watched her after her talk. She had spoken with such moral authority, such empathy. But after that, she retreated. I could tell she felt uncomfortable with all of her admirers. It was as if giving the talk had cost her something. I didn't want to be a pest, so I planned.
So how did you finally approach?
I picked the right moment. Right as she came back to the conference. She had just had her coffee. She was fresh, rested. It was like she had braced herself for the colleagues. I asked if I could walk, then put forth a question about her talk that I thought was intelligent. Her answer made me realize, but she was very welcoming. previously acquainted. It was only halfway through the conversation that I realized exactly who I was. It was quite my business was trafficking in secrets, and I took anonymity. So that was Liz. Perpetually, I came to view our meeting as a metaphor for our ship. She always seemed to know me if I knew her.
I guess I know the feeling. First Varl. Now Hikaru and the Tenakth. Your plan would wipe out an entire tribe. There has to be another way.
We are in an admittedly desperate situation, but I assure you there isn't. Remember Zero Dawn. Elizabeth's sacrifice. Sometimes many have to die for a new world to grow.
If it looks impossible, look deeper. Wait. The data channel. It still exists, doesn't it? I need you to open it. Let me talk to Beta.
Impossible. We might be detected.
It's worth the risk. There is another way, one where the Tenakth survive.
But we won't. If the others...
If you want to help, open it. What are they doing to her?
Virtual reality dissociation. The manual merge of Hephaestus will take hours upon hours of tedious micromanagement. If she resists the work, they run simulations to induce feelings of isolation and despair.
Beta, can you hear me?
You're alive. They're watching me. I can't hold up this extra projection for long. You should have killed me.
No. No, look at me. I'm coming for you. I promise, okay? I just need you to hold out a little while longer and work on the merge.
Then I think it can be done.
I'll contact again when it's time. Can you hold on?
As long as I know you're coming for me, I can endure anything.
All right. I did as you asked. Now I think you need to tell me what you're planning.
I'm going to take Sylens' army away. I don't need it. Only the weapon he made to penetrate your shields.
And how do you propose to get it? Ask him nicely?
Without Regala and her rebels, he won't have a choice. We'll be his only option.
Only option for what? What did you tell her?
That is between me and my sister. Will be Sylens' only option for crashing that base. I'll tell you the rest later. But first, there are a couple of things I have to do.
Oh. And what are those?
Lay my friend to rest. And then I'm going to use the override that Beta gave me at Gemini to put an end to Regala's rebellion. From the air.
Wait. Since you insist on doing things your way, I know of something that will truly help you make a grand entrance with the Tenakth. The ancient Horus Titans still possess electromagnetic energy cells as part of their arsenal. Drop one of those on Regala's army and they'll receive quite a surprise. So go, do what you must. I'll come to your base if you manage to bring silence to the table.
Not if. When. Erend, are you there?
Aloy! Aloy, is that really you?
Yeah, it's me. Where's everyone else?
We're all... we're back at base. What happened?
It might be easier to explain in person. I'll try to join you there when I can.
Okay. We'll wait here for you. It's good to hear your voice, Aloy.
Just to let you know, I'm now patched into your focus network.
Great. I take it the other Zeniths can't hear us?
Of course not. And they don't know about your base either, in case you were wondering. I've sent you data on the Horus energy cells you can use against Regala's forces. Reach out to me when you're ready to acquire one.
Understood. Looks like there's more to this place. I'm sure Tilda won't mind me poking around. But how to get through these vines? Getting quieter without the rain. clear this up. Looks like Frost is no good here. machine was built to kill hunters. But... Found her becoming the hunted.